Hey folks, this is Nate coming at you on Tuesday night on July 16th. So tonight we've got the final installment of my Canon Bladestyles project. This is going to be Bladestyles for episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. So had a little bit of bumpiness, sort of fine-tuning these and getting them sort of set up the way I wanted to. So what I've done is they're essentially I've broken up some of these blade styles into two different variants. So on the one hand, we've got Kylo Ren's flame blade from the intro, where he's on Mustafar and then on to Exegol. And then the second flame blade is during his battle with Rey on the fallen piece of the Death Star on the Endor moon. And then for Rey, I think there's 3 different versions of her blade style. There's the training scene, there is the battle on the fallen Death Star, and then there is the final battle scene in Exegol. So I've got 3 different variants of her blade style. And then I've also got Ben's, when Kylo Ren transforms back to Ben Solo, and he borrows the Graflex from Rey. I've got a separate blade style for that. And then also Rey's, I've got 2 variants of Rey, her gold blade at the very end. And then there are also a couple of the flashback scene between Luke and Leia, with Luke's green blade and Leia's blue blade. I've got a variant of those each. And I think that pretty much covers it for this config. So let's get started, and then I'll speak on each one as I load them up. So this first one,
I will give you so much more,
is the Exegol sound font from Blueforce, and this is Kylo Ren's initial flame blade.
What could you give me? Everything.
So this isn't actually technically a flame blade. When I tried to get the texture right with how I saw it in the movie, what I ended up doing is another custom fast pulse blade up top, and then I'm using a really long static fire emitter flare on the base to sort of give it more of a flame blade effect on the lower half of the blade.
Don't be afraid of who you are.
Oh yeah, and then this was the other one I forgot to mention at the beginning. So this is the Dark Rey, and this is off of the Darkness V2 sound font from Kyberphonic, and this is Rey's sort of evil red blade. It's got a white ignition, and this is actually an original, one of Fet 263's original flame blades, but I've modified the speed on the flame blade movement. tried a lot of different variants for this style, for this particular character. I tried like an energy saw, I tried like a surging pulse or a fast pulse type blade, and I tried like a traditional flame blade or an unstable, and none of them quite seemed to fit what I was going for. So then I sort of went back to this original flame blade and then kind of mucked around with the timing a little bit, and I was able to find something that seemed to fit better.
I'm Rey.
Okay, so this is the first Rey variant, and on the light side, and this is the TROS Graflex V2 sound font from Kyberphonic, and this is the Rey version, and this is her Graflex Blue, which is actually closer to a cyan. This version of Graflex Blue is a lot more green in it. And this is sort of a static blade style with an audio flicker layer below it. This is, ratio-wise, this is fairly close to the Profi defined color deep sky blue, but it's my own custom color coding.
Master Skywalker.
So this is the Rise of Skywalker. This is the first flashback blade style for Luke, his green. And I forgot what kind of flicker I put on this one. This is basically what I call a combo flicker, which is doing a similar setup as the blade style I just showed you. This is using sort of a static layer on top, a single color layer on top, and then below it I'm doing an audio flicker, but I'm using a darker version of the color on the audio flicker just to produce a harder blink.
what he will become. For the briefest moment of pure instinct, I thought I could stop it.
And then this is Leia's flashback blade, which is a deeper blue. So this is the second variant of Kylo Ren, and then I'm using the Exegol sound font a second time for this one. And this flame blade is actually more of a hyper-responsive unstable. So this is the fight he has with Rey on the fallen Death Star.
What could you give me? Everything.
So this has like a really, really low swing speed, set to like 25. So even the smallest movement will trigger the unstable swing effect. And then I'm also still using that static fire emitter flare at the base though.
Rise Skywalker.
Now this is Rey's second variant on her blade, and this is also from the Fallen Death Star scene, and then this is the same color matching as before of her Graflex blue, but this also has that unstable, hyper unstable swing. Now the reason I did this on both Kylo Ren and Rey's blades is that on that fight on that Death Star piece that's sort of floating in the ocean, the water waves that kind of come over and crash around on them while they're fighting sort of gives their sabers that that fragmented look on screen. And for her main blade on this one, I'm using, I think I'm using a pulse on the main blade on this one with that hyper-responsive, unstable swing. And then this is her third variant. Whoops, I double tapped. Now this is the final Exegol scene, and on this variant, this is FET's original FET 263 Surging Pulse Bladestyle, and again I've modified the timing on this one as well. So I was trying to match not just the color of in the movie, but I was also trying to see if I could match the texture, because the texture on the film does change from scene to scene, whether the battle is in like light versus dark, at night or during the day, or whether it's indoors versus outdoors, and then there's just other effects that can change the texture of what the blade looks like in a given scene. So this is Rey's Exegol Graflex Blue. And then this is Ben's version of that same saber. Now this is a slightly lighter color with a bright swing.
Rise of Skywalker.
Now these are the gold blades. This is Scavenger's Destiny. And this is a gold random per LED flicker blade. Now we never actually get to see her fight with this blade, the gold version. So I sort of just took my best guess as to what the effects might look like.
Rise of Skywalker.
And then this is Rey, the sound font from JuanSith. Similar variant, but I'm using a different type of blade style here. This is a rotoscope of the same color.
Battery power level.
And so those are the styles that I have for episode 9 for the Rise of Skywalker. And then, as always, I'll make sure and leave these up in paste bin for those of you who would like them. So that's the end of the road for my Canon Bladestyles project. So thank you for all of you for watching, commenting, and and liking those videos. It's been I've had a fun time making these. I'm not sure if I'll do any different segments. Somebody asked me if I was planning on doing anything for like the animated series, like for the Clone Wars, or anything like that. And honestly, I don't know. I don't know how much time I'm going to have in the next few months. But I'm sure I'll come up with something fun. So anyway, thank you all for watching, and I will see you on the next video. All right, take care.